Well, there's our half. So the score, the New York Giants 27, the Houston Oilers nothing.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But at least anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Now, I kind of had a lot of hopes for Isaiah Wilson. And I guess maybe all is not totally 100% lost. But it's not really sounded super spectacular. Rob Sale was kind of being interviewed by Dan Dugan, and he asked him a bunch of questions, and he asked him about Isaiah Wilson, and he was asked kind of about behind the scenes, what how was he acting, his professionalism. Is he serious, about, wanting to become a football player? And Rob Sale responded, next question. Not really sounding too good. So Dan Dugan, he kind of said he kind of went back and forth with Rob Sale, asking questions and just trying to read between the lines. It doesn't seem as if Sale views Wilson as a very dependable person. He asked Sale, what does he need to do, to straighten the ship out? I guess so to say. And Sale responded, "Be dependable." And so it doesn't sound too good. Now he was also mentioned. Sale said, Andrew Thomas, dependable. Your teammates can count on him, the coaches can count on him and all and everything. So he didn't really expand on, all what that means, but it just kind of sounds a little bit like, Isaiah Wilson's not taking his third. He was with the Titans and the Dolphins, and then now he's with the Giants. And the Dolphins even traded for him. And they had him for a real short time. They let him go. So it doesn't sound like he's taking this very seriously. He really needs like, if you ever saw Scrooge, he needs like 3 ghosts in the middle of the night to come by and just wake him up and just this is what your life is like now, and this is what this is the present. This is what your life's going to be like in the future if you just take this attitude toward life. He needs maybe somebody like Ray Lewis to come in and just kick the living crap out of him and just wake him up and just dude, this might be your last chance. Hopefully he has some type of a degree, or maybe he didn't get a degree, finish his degree, so maybe he can go back to college or something and finish his degree. Hopefully he has something to fall back on, because it really doesn't sound like just from Rob Sale, he's taking this very, very seriously. But it's all, if you don't want to do football, it's not for everybody. Maybe you had the fun in college, all that and everything, and now it's, now it's a grind, doing it every day. Now you're going up against better opponents, and also now it's more difficult. Maybe it's just not for everybody. If that's the case, just go up to Mr. Mara, shake his hand. I apologize. It's just not for me. Thank you so much, and just be on it. And move on with your life. But don't if you're gonna do it all out. But it's not even so much just football. It's just life in general. If you quit on this, what are you going to do with your next opportunity presents itself? It's going to make it that much easier to quit on that. Or if you're lollygagging with this, you're going to lollygag with, you're a big boy now. You got your whole life in front of you. You got to start taking some stuff seriously. So, it's not sounding real good. And also the fact that when we played the... Now, this is really not good. When we played the Eagles, he was apparently the only one who didn't play at all. He didn't get a snap. Everybody else on the sideline got in a snap. And when you're losing 34-3, you know, the coach don't put you in there. I mean, that's not good. Now we got Matt Parrott, who's out, with his knees. He's gone for the whole season. Nate Solder is kind of coming back from COVID, so we're not even quite sure he'll be playing Sunday. So if he don't play, Corey Cunningham filled in for Matt Parrott. He did an admirable job, right? So, I mean, Corey Cunningham might be wind up being the right tackle. Billy Price has got some type of, personal problem. Sounds like his family's dealing with something not too good. So he may not even be playing. So, I mean, it's going to be out there. I mean, the Bears got a good defense, right? They may not be a juggernaut offense, but they got a good defense. And, we're going to have a whole bunch of guys in there. I mean, whoever the quarterback is, I really feel sorry for him. I really don't see much of anything good coming from this game on Sunday, honestly. The Giants had the starting their injury list. They had 16 guys who either didn't practice or did not participate or were limited in practice. The Bears had a grand total of 4 guys. 2 guys were limited in practice. 2 guys did not participate. So, Giants are banged up, and got second and third string quarterbacks in there. It's not really looking good. Now, as far as this Sunday coming up, basically it's pretty much like a win-win for the Giants. I mean, given the course of if they win, good. I mean, of course you want them to win. You don't want to, you don't want them to see them lose, especially get embarrassed. But I mean, you want them to go in there and win. But I mean, if they win, great. But I mean, if the Bears win, I mean that kind of the Giants will be they'll be 4-12. They'll have one more game left, and they'll still be like a top 10, top 5 pick. Then the Bears will be 6-10. So I don't really see any way the Giants can wind up winning this one. So with especially with the second, third string quarterbacks in there, the Bears have a good day, and the Bears got Fields has got his ankle. He was one of the ones that was limited in practice, so we're not even sure that he'll be playing or not. But Nick Foles did a really good job. I mean, he did a good job against Seattle. Now, Seattle's got a bad pass defense, okay? But on the road in Seattle, a little snowy out there, beautiful sight to see. But they were down, and he drove them down, the winning touchdown. I mean, did a fantastic job. So, I mean, the Bears got a really good shot at winning. That's what I'm saying. But if the Giants lose, they'll be 4-12, and then the Bears will be, they would wind up being 6-10. Now, you got Jacksonville. This is where it kind of all winds up working out. Jacksonville is right now is 2-13. They got to play at New England. Then they got to play. Then they got the Colts coming. So I don't see any way. The Jaguars aren't going to win both of those games. They'd be lucky if they win one game. I don't even see that. I can more or less see them finishing like 2-15. So I kind of see Jacksonville finishing with the number 1 pick. The Lions are 2-12-1. The Lions got in Seattle. And then we got Green Bay. Then they got to play Green Bay. So I don't, it's going to be tough. For them to beat either one of those teams. So I mean, there's a good chance Detroit winds up 2-14-1. So they might be locked in at pick number 2. Now you got Houston. Houston, the Jets, and the Giants all 4-11. But Houston, the strength of schedule. Houston's strength of schedule is the weakest. So that's therefore they're in pick number 3. They got at San Fran, and then they finish up home against the Titans. Now that could be a huge game for the Titans. The Titans lost on the road to the Jets, so anything is possible, guys. Anything's possible. But Houston, at San Fran, they might have to start Trey Lance. I don't know if Jimmy G is going to be able to go with his hand and his thumb and all and everything, but anything's possible, right? But I mean, Houston, They got 4 wins. I mean, I can't see them possibly winning both games. I mean, once again, they'll be lucky if they win one of the games. So, I mean, they'll either be 4-13 or they'll be 5-12. Then you got the Jets, right? They got to play home against Tampa Bay. Then they got to play at Buffalo. I don't see them winning either one of those games. So the Jets are pretty much almost locked in at 4-13. Right, so you got Jacksonville probably going to be 1. Detroit's going to be number 2. The Jets are going to be 4-13, almost guaranteed. And I said Houston, I'd be surprised if they win either one of their games. So, I mean, it could wind up being Jacksonville 1, Detroit 2, Houston 3, Jets 4. Then you got the Giants. All right, they're 4-11. We got at Chicago, then we got the Washington football team at home. Now, I don't see the Giants winning this Sunday against the Bears. We got second, third string quarterbacks in there. We're too banged up. I just don't see it happening. So, I mean, maybe the Giants, somehow might beat the Washington football team. Well, that would give us 5 wins. That would be the absolute most I see the Giants having is 5 wins. Or if somehow, some possible way we wind up beating the Bears, we'll probably wind up losing to the Washington football team. So I can't see us winning any more than one out of these next 2 at the most. All right, so we either have 4 wins or we'll have maybe 5. Then you got Carolina. This is a huge game because Carolina's got 5 wins. They're playing at New Orleans and they got to play at Tampa Bay. So this is a huge game. If Carolina can beat New Orleans this week, you got to vote for Carolina because you want Carolina to win because that'll give them 6 wins. That would be huge. It ain't going to be easy. But, I mean, New Orleans has been especially scoring points lately. They beat Tampa Bay 9-0. Then they just lost the other night. They only scored 3 points. So they're not scoring points. So, I mean, Carolina can put a couple touchdowns up there. They got a shot at winning. A shot. All right. I mean, Carolina started off 3-0. Now they're 5-10. All right. So they've gone 2-10 out of their last 12 games. So they are struggling big time. But I'm saying some way they could put up a couple touchdowns. That would be huge. And I said if they can pull up a big win in New Orleans, that would be huge. You give them 6 wins. That would be fantastic. Then you got the Jets are number 7. They got Seattle's pick. The Seattle's 5-10. Seattle should be 6-9. They were beating the Bears, but this past weekend, God, Seattle suck. They're horrible. But Seattle's playing home against Detroit, and then they got to play against the Cardinals in Arizona. So, you want Seattle to beat Detroit this week at home. That would be huge because that would give Seattle 6 wins, and that would push them a little farther down the draft order too. So that would be huge. You want Carolina to win if they can against New Orleans. You want Seattle to win home against Detroit, so they could win that one. You want them to win that one. Give them 6 wins. Then of course, then you got the Giants. They're pick number 8. They got the Bears wins. The Bears are 5-10. Bears are playing the Giants, and then they'll finish up in Minnesota. So I mean, I can certainly see the Bears winning this Sunday. Maybe they won't win the second game when they got to play in Minnesota because Minnesota's got a good offense. Minnesota's a decent team, not an awesome team, but they're a decent team. So I mean, maybe Minnesota beats the Bears the last game of the season. So I said maybe give the Bears a win. Maybe the Bears will wind up being 6-11. But that would certainly keep them in the top 10. Then after that, you got the Washington football team. They're number 9. They're 6-9. They got to play Philly at home, and then they're on the road and playing the Giants the last game of the season. They got 6 wins. Maybe they can win one of those last 2 at home against Philly. Because anything's possible. I mean, they got killed by the Cowboys, but that doesn't mean they can't come home and beat the Eagles killed the Giants. The Cowboys killed the Washington football team. So what would make more sense in this crazy world of football, right? Than Washington comes home and winds up beating the Eagles, right? So that's possible. Or Washington could beat the Giants the last game of the season. So I can see the Washington football team, as much as they're struggling, possibly win one of their last 2 games. That would give them 7 wins. That would, for the Giants, that would be huge. That would knock them in like number 10 or 11 or so. That would be absolutely huge. So you want you pull for the Washington football team. Then there's a bunch of teams. You got there's 6 teams that got 7 wins. You got Atlanta 7-8, Denver 7-8, Minnesota 7-8, Cleveland 7-8, New Orleans is 7-8, and then you got the Steelers who are 7-7-1. So you got a bunch of teams that have 7 wins. Hopefully, Atlanta's number 10 and they got 7 wins. Right? So hopefully, as long as Chicago doesn't beat the Giants and Minnesota last game of the season. Right, that would, because if they did that, they would have 7 wins, and that would put them closer to pick number 10, maybe 11 or somewhere around there. So you don't want that happening. So I mean, 6 wins will definitely keep you pick number 9 or lower. So the Bears, you don't want the Bears winning any more than just one game. So I mean, so it's pretty much a win-win for the Giants. Even if the Giants win, that'll put them a little farther down the draft order, but they'll keep the Bears at like number they're 8. Maybe they'll put them in maybe number 7. So I mean, it's pretty much a win-win. Obviously, for the Giants, you want them to win, but if they do lose, just know that their draft pick will still be in the top 5. So they'll be, they'll be in prime shape, all right, for either a good pass rusher, either Thibodeau or Hutchinson, because if you're number 5, you don't know exactly who's going to take who or where. Somebody might trade up maybe for a quarterback or something, like if there is a quarterback that really takes off maybe in the combine. But if you're pick number 5, right, that'd be a really good prime shape for, as I said, maybe we can get one of those edge rushers or especially an offensive lineman. And if we're in the top 10, who knows? I said maybe we can get 2 offensive linemen, which is what I'm kind of pulling for. Where I said if we can get maybe an edge rusher early on, and then you take an offensive lineman, with the Bears pick. But as long as the Bears don't win both their last games, right, that'll definitely almost guarantee to keep them in the top 9, and that would be really fantastic. Because then the Giants will have their certainly, I can't say any pick that they want of any offensive lineman, or a pass rusher, but they'll be in prime shape to get at least 2 guys that they really, really need to really help turn this team around. And right now, they can use all the help they can get. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!